Hello everyone, this is Bertina Amy here and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I thought I'd show you two Dollar Tree spring bee DIYs. The first one is a DIY Dollar Tree spring bee wreath. I picked up this super cute bee wreath form from the Dollar Tree and I just knew I wanted to DIY with it. So I start off by grabbing a Deco mesh in yellow and a tulle in white, and since I already had this on hand, I also have this Dollar Tree fuzzy black yarn. I start off by taking the Deco mesh and trying to wrap it around the bee's body, and I thought it would look cool if I twisted the material, but in the end it really didn't matter that I did it that way or not. But I also made sure to hot glue it down at the beginning and occasionally here and there as I was wrapping it around, because if not, since the body does kind of gradually get larger, it tends to want to fall back to the smaller side, if that makes sense. So try to hot glue every couple of rounds or so. I thought I would try to go ahead and wrap the bee's head as well with the Deco mesh, but I ran out of the material and I went to 3 different Dollar Trees and there was no yellow Deco mesh. They only had this highlighter yellow Deco mesh and I just couldn't use that because it just wasn't going to match the body. So I opted against doing that and deciding to deal with it later. I was really inspired to do the wings in the tulle, so I decided to go next to the tulle and just kind of figure out how I wanted to attach it on there, how I wanted it to look, and just kind of play around with it for a little bit until I decided I was going to come back to that later and instead just go ahead and wrap the body with the black yarn. So the Dollar Tree yarn, the fuzzy one, is actually rather thin, so I decided I wanted to braid it. Yes, very time consuming, but that's what I wanted to do. So I went ahead and took 3 strands of yarn and started braiding them off to the side, and I used one of these Clorox clips to hold it in place, as you can see on screen. So I go ahead and hot glue one end to the body and start wrapping it around the body until I ran out of the yarn, and then I had to make additional ones off camera and then attach them to the body and wrap those around, and then any excess I would just trim off. It's clearly not coming out perfect, but there is a clear back part of this piece as well as a clear front. A quick tip if you decide to recreate this project is that I recommend that you glue more often than I do on camera, just because it will help it and prevent it from sliding off. If you want the lines to appear more straight, I also recommend getting black pipe cleaners instead, or black ribbon. So that being said, trying to do the bee's stinger was rather repetitive in the fact that I had to keep gluing it back onto the wreath form over and over again because it just wasn't wanting to stay on. For the antenna, wrapping the antenna felt like maybe a bit of a learning curve, mainly because it felt like the first try in this video was just rough. It didn't come out looking right. I just didn't like it. But by the time I got around to the second one, it looked a lot better. I'm basically attaching the yarn to the wreath form by wrapping the yarn around the wreath form and making a knot along the wreath form. I hope that makes sense. And the way I'm doing it is I'm going under the wreath form first, and then I'm making a knot by pulling the tail through the loop that I created, if that makes sense. I really hope it does. And anyways, I continue that over and over again until the entire antenna is completely covered. And I hot glue it into place at the very end so it doesn't completely fall off. And then I repeat the same steps onto the other antenna. And feel free to watch this in a slower version or watch my DIY bee wreath video for a slower video as well, just because I'm trying to make sure this is not a super long video. So I take some white iridescent pipe cleaners. I had to pick up a pack from Michael's because I really wanted to make sure that I would get good coverage since the Dollar Tree version is rather thin. So I take the pipe cleaner and I wrap the wires in it until it's completely covered. Then I go ahead and re-glue the stinger onto the bee since it fell off again for maybe like the 3rd or 4th time, which hopefully doesn't happen to you, but just a warning. I decided to remove the Deco mesh off of the bee's head and wrap the head instead in yellow pipe cleaner and move back onto the wings. For the wings, I really wanted the wings to be transparent but have some kind of a color to it, so that's why I went with white sparkling tulle. I decided to attach them in a similar manner as I would for a normal wreath, but making my cut pieces a little bit longer. I wanted to be able to fold them and scrunch them so that I would get folds in them and give it more of a color but still be transparent at the same time. I hope that's making sense, but I basically take a pipe cleaner and I wrap it down a center, almost kind of like making a bow, where it would cause more of a lot of folds right by the pipe cleaner, and then attach the pipe cleaner to the wreath in the corner of the wing area, if that makes sense. Then I tied it back down in the back, and I also hand sewed the wings onto the edges of the wing shapes so that they would stay down instead of flopping all over. And to make sure my sewing work didn't become undone, I hot glued those areas on the back. So I started all over with the head and deciding that I was just going to make a floral arrangement using a lot of faux sunflowers, mostly from Walmart because my Dollar Trees weren't having any sunflowers in stock. So I picked up these small ones and these large ones, and I took the small cylindrical floral foam from Dollar Tree, and I found that it was the perfect size for the head and stuck it right in there. And then I went ahead and took the petals off of my small Walmart sunflowers, and I created a mane surrounding the floral foam and the head shape of the bee by folding the petals in half and then gluing them and attaching them that way. I hope that's making sense. And then for the final head piece in the center, I take one of the large ones, and I didn't want the petals to be so large that you can't see the antennas at all. So I decided to, quote, shrink them by folding them in and making them look fuller. And then I just hot glued that into the floral foam. I didn't even take the wrapping off because if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I don't like dealing with the floral foam skin to the actual foam itself. I don't like the way it feels, so I leave the plastic on there and I just hot glue it right onto that. Then I used some spare pipe cleaners I had left, and I added it to the back with hot glue so I can make a hanger. The next DIY is a DIY Dollar Tree spring bee centerpiece. So first I go ahead and take my old St. Patrick's Day DIY centerpiece and I put it away in a reusable Ziploc bag that I got from a previous Amazon purchase. Then I make this super easy DIY spring bee centerpiece with this really cute candle holder I picked up last year. I think it's really pretty, this honey colored nest. I place that in the center and I take one of these LED tea lights, 3 come in a pack for $1.25, and I just take one out, remove the plastic and turn it on and place it inside of the candle holder. Then I surround the 4 corners with the remaining 4 large sunflowers I have left from the project from doing the DIY wreath. And that's it for this DIY, and I think it looks really pretty. Let me know in the comments below which of these 2 Dollar Tree DIYs is your favorite. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.